Hello, all my YouTube friends. Today I am going to work on number 5 of the mixed media morsels inspired by Cat Hand. And I just thought I'd do a little voiceover here and tell you some about what's been going on with me. I am so far out of it. We still have health issues we're dealing with here. But first thing I did was just put some paint, well, some black gesso down and some paint down to the background. So you can watch that while I talk. Anyway, I just did the Pick a Stick Challenge video along with Mission Inspiration. And one of the things that's happening in my videos is I'm missing portions because, you know, you take clips and you link them together and you do all kinds of finagling trying to make a good video outcome, whatever that is, and things have been disappearing on me. So I was really kind of disgusted because there were things like Patty Tolly Parrish has wonderful stencils, and a whole section where I used her stencil on the front of my page just kind of disappeared off the face of the map. I'll put a link down below to Patty's store, but you know, she's got great stencils. Oh, I guess no, her stencils are, excuse me, her stencils are someplace else. Her store has her stamps. I have those too. She has great stamps. Anyway, okay, so now I'm starting to put the tissue paper down on my page, and keep on going there, Peg. Yep. Okay, so what I plan on doing with this video is, you know, this is kind of like a vlog and a blooper video and the whole thing all rolled up into one, because I thought when I got to the end of this particular video I might try to tag on those extra pieces of the video that kind of got lost in the shuffle when I did other stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like the blooper part of this. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I get it. Turn it off. But you know, you might have been wondering when you watched the, if you did watch that other video, you might have been wondering, well, what happened to those other steps? They're not there. You know, it's like, well, I did them. They're on the page, but what happened to the video? Yeah. Feeling really stupid about that one, but that's what I get when I get in a hurry and think everything is uploading to YouTube, and then I go back and check stuff later. And it's not quite what you had anticipated. Okay, so now I'm getting out, that's just a tag that I had some extra paint that I was slopping down there because it was laying out there on my desk, and I'm going to use some gold Pebeo with this London Bridge, because the paper in the tissue paper in the background says London on it, which I thought was kind of cool. And then I decided I kind of wanted to do like a reflection in the water. Then of course I've got all this paint left on my desktop, and we aren't going to let that go to waste. Now I could cut this out of my video, but I just wanted you guys to see, you know, this is kind of what I go through. I'll videotape things, and sometimes I cut things out. Sometimes I leave them in. Sometimes they just disappear on their own. So, okay, so this is supposed to be glaze, and I put it out on my table and I'm saying, wow, that stuff is thick. I wonder how long I've had that. So I'm adding glazing medium to it, trying to thin it out enough to spread out on the page. Not that this is a journal that I'm really concerned about or a major art piece, but yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff I need to use up. I've been thinking about just, you know, sitting down for a whole day or a weekend or something and just making paint papers, because, man, some of my older paints, you know, if you don't use them, they dry up, folks. So at least if I got them on some paper, they would be something that I could tear up and collage and use. So I was watching Patty Parrish earlier today while I was making this and videotaping, and I thought, yeah, she's making paper. Good idea, Patty. Maybe that's what I should be doing. So anyway, you get the best ideas just watching your friends, right? And I got to tell you, there's a lot of good channels out here on YouTube. Of course, I'm going to tout my friends that are part of the Pick a Stick Challenge, which are Shell and Lizzie and Sherry. And I'll try to put some links to their channels for you. But they're not the only ones, you know, because I've got other people that I follow out here. So, yeah, there's lots and lots of fun art. If you want to see a lot of stuff that's in a stream, or a, what do they call that? It's not a stream. It is a playlist. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a playlist. Okay. If you look for a creative arts collaboration, there's all kinds of artists that are putting stuff up there. And then if you're wanting to narrow it down to something specific, use a hashtag for like mixed media or journaling or scrapbooking or card making or polymer clay or jewelry, and you'll pull up those things that you want to watch. So we've been doing that over a year now, and I think that's just the coolest thing ever, because so many people are, you know, creating in this atmosphere where they're sharing ideas and information and helping one another, and that's what community is all about, isn't it? So how cool does it get? Anyway, I wasn't satisfied with the image, of course, and because I did it on that black card, it had kind of a natural border. Of course, it was too small for me to just tear on my own, so I had to get the pliers out and tear it. And yeah, okay. Well, like I said, this is not rocket science, but I did want to, you know, make a page. I do the backgrounds that are part of this, but you know me, I can't just leave it alone. I have to make a page. So if you go back and look at some of my previous mixed media morsels videos, that's what you'll see, is it's not just the background. I will have actually made a small page. So, okay, so get that down. I'm going to make a title. You know, it's all about gluing stuff down and finishing up and putting... didn't do a border on this. I just did the did shading with inks, and now I'm using the Posca pen to put down the title, which is tissue tissue paper background number 5. And I showed you the other day this nice stamp that I'd gotten from Tuesday Morning, the date stamp. And I'll end up using that on a piece of, I had a piece of canvas out on my desktop, because one of the things that I used on my page the other day was it said to use a piece of fabric. So, okay, I've still got canvas out of my desktop. So I'm going to use canvas because it's there and just waiting to be used. So, yeah, that didn't stamp quite as dark as I wanted, so I'm just going over it with the Posca. And later I actually go in with some more ink because it's very, 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 very white. And I changed the color of it, but you're not going to see it here in this video. So that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, step number 2 says add at least one piece of ephemera. Well, I have this old Simplicity pattern that was probably from my teen years, as you can say by how stylish it is and the nothingness of the neckline. So you can even see I pinned these things together. Wasn't I organized then? Okay, so I have pattern and pattern pieces And I think I will just take some of this tissue to add to my piece. And I think I want it on the background piece. So I'm going to put some, let's see, where do I have a little matte medium here. And I'll just take that and smears it, because I don't really need it everywhere. I just need it here in the middle of my page that's going to be exposed. And I think I will crumple that a bit, give a little more texture. As wasn't Cece. Who was that? Who said that? Okay. You guys can leave me a comment and let me know. And a little more up here. And probably a little over the top and under here. A little more blue than I needed, but that's okay. We're not being fussy. I'll just spread that somewhere else. Something. Here we go. The reason I want it thin is because I want it to dry in a short period of time. So that's what we'll do. It's dry. Okay, number 3 is add a crossword puzzle. So I'm going to create my own using all these things. What I have here is a tub that I keep that has words and letters in it. And I also have these types of things that have letters. So I'm going to build a crossword puzzle. Here we go. Okay, so step number 4 says use a non-tool. Well, what I've chosen for my non-tool is this cut up piece of card. Whatever. You get these cards for everything now, right? So I didn't want a great big one to dip in here with. I'm going to use some light molding paste from Liquitex. And what I have down here now is a Patty Tolly Parish stencil. And I've masked off some areas where I don't want the paste to go because I just kind of want it on that flap. So I'm just going to get some of this and start applying some paste. And I also want to avoid the letter area, so I'm going to stick my finger over that and just, kind of lightly go around that. It's a little bit touchy in here, but that's what happens when you don't get to choose how your layers go on the page. You just kind of go with the flow. And, this is not meant to be a work of art. This is an exercise in creating, and it's making you think outside of the way we might normally think about doing these things. So, if you look at it and say, oh, not a masterpiece, well, I look at mine and say that a lot of times just because I'm experimenting, I'm playing, and that's what this is all about. We're just having fun seeing what happens if we let it free. So let it free, guys. You have my permission for sure to just let it free and flow. Okay, I think I've got that on there now. I'm not going to put this back into my jar because it picked up some of that ink. And now I'm just going to lift that and clean my stencil. I'll be back. Okay, so the next step is to add a piece of fabric. I have added some fabric, but this is step 8, so I need to add something at this point. And I think what I'm going to do is just add some kind of fabric embellishment. So I've got this canvas that is gessoed, and I'll come back and show you what I've done with that. So here is a stamp and die set from Sizzix by Hampton Arts. It was one of those that was on sale at a Tuesday morning, I think, and it came with the stamps and the dies. And so what I chose to do was to use this sentiment. Sometimes you have to take the leap to build your wings on the way down. And I stamped and embossed that on that piece of canvas. I sprayed it with a little bit of that art anthology, this stuff, and then embossed the sentiment on here and then die cut it out so I have an embellishment that can go on here. Okay,